Historically, Brookville citizens have placed a high priority on educational excellence, recognizing that it is imperative to the future of our students and to the general welfare of the community to do so. Brookville is an outstanding community. It is a good place to live. It is a community of superior services, and one of those superior services is the school district. One of the most outstanding school systems in the Montgomery-Preble County area began its life as a log structure at the corner of Arlington and Upper Lewisburg roads. From these humble beginnings, Brookville schools began a tradition of steady growth, pride, and dedication. In 1815, the first school in the Brookville area was opened in Clay Township. This building was replaced by a traditional Little Red schoolhouse in 1850. The Perry Township School was built at the corner of Amity Road and Johnsville-Brookville Road. The building had 2 classrooms, each with its own coal-burning stove. As was common at the time, an outdoor water pump was the only source of running water. In the cold winter days, the pump often froze. Restrooms were outdoors too, in a small white outhouse in the back corner of the schoolyard. In 1869, a 2-story, 4-room building was erected on the corner of Arlington Road and Wolf Creek Pike. Herman Studebaker Fox established a 3-year high school in this building. In 1889, the first graduating class consisted of 4 girls and 2 boys. One of the boys, Andrew Macilis, became the superintendent of Brookville schools and eventually was the first superintendent of all schools in Montgomery County. As the village of Brookville continued to grow, the townspeople felt that a new schoolhouse should be located near the center of the school's population, and in 1894, a site was chosen on Hill Street. Although the new facility was a 2-story, 4-room building, it soon proved to be inadequate for the growth the school system was experiencing. 2 room additions were added in 1897 and 1909. In 1916, the first football team was established. At the same time, the Perry Township schools were sold, and their students were brought into the village school in school wagons. Using high school boys as the first bus drivers, Brookville pioneered busing, using horse-drawn wagons for the first 2 years. The modern era of centralized education was beginning. Still, major deficiencies existed, including extreme overcrowding, poor ventilation, and the use of outhouses. On January 30th, 1920, 30 community leaders met to discuss plans for a new school, and 220 voters signed a petition. 18 days later, a special election was held to vote on a $250,000 bond issue to both repair the existing grade school and build a new school building on another site. The bond issue passed, and in October of 1923, students of all grades moved into the new building. The final cost of the school was $228,219, including the land, heating, plumbing, and wiring. Changes in the Roaring Twenties were not limited to the opening of the new building. The Brookville PTA was established. Teachers' pay was $105 monthly, and winter power bills topped out at $16. There were now 9 buses in use at the school. It also was the time of tragedy. When a football player was seriously injured, the football team was discontinued. In 1929, the Brookville Star included a regular column entitled The Bluebird Twitter, which contained school news. Now that the Depression was hitting the country, Brookville also had financial problems. It was announced in 1931 that the school was to be open for the full 32 weeks, but only if the funds held out. The following year, the school board voted to release all married female teachers. Teachers were hired on a monthly basis and sometimes had to wait for paychecks until money came into the district. As the 1930s continued, the curriculum and extracurricular activities grew at Brookville schools. New classes included band, chorus, manual arts or shop, domestic science, and physical education. French classes were dropped, but Latin was kept on the curriculum. Sports also became an activity for both boys and girls. Basketball was played in what was then called a pit gym, considered at that time to be one of the best in the county. Girls played basketball on half court and were not allowed to dribble the ball, rules that were designed to protect females. The 1930s also saw the hiring of Zaner Zirkel as the music teacher. Later in Mr. Zirkel's tenure at Brookville, he wrote the Brookville fight song, "When Dear Old Brookville Men Fall into Line." During this era, band uniforms were purchased. Students were rewarded for good grades by allowing them to borrow books from the school library, and a piano played as students left the school for the day. High school enrollment reached 400 students. With the onset of the 1940s and World War II, students were trained in defense classes to prepare them for jobs in national defense. Even during this time, Brookville schools continued to grow. Brookville continued to close the small country schools, and students from the country were bused into Brookville, a change that was frightening for some of the students. In 1945, football was reintroduced to Brookville schools, and the students decided to change the school mascot from the Bluebirds to the Blue Devils, reasoning that they had never heard of a bluebird playing football. By 1950, there were over 900 students in the Brookville school system, and overcrowding and large class size once again became a problem. 2 sixth-grade sections were moved into a former Booth's Chevrolet garage building on Market Street. In the mid-1950s, a large elementary building was added to the original 1923 school, a building that would later become the middle school. Included in the new building were a cafeteria, kitchen, band room, and home economics classroom. This also made it possible for Brookville to offer kindergarten classes. In 1956, 2 more rural schools, Piermont and Perry, were closed. The community of Brookville continued to grow, so in 1957 the original 1923 building was again added onto with a new gymnasium, industrial arts classroom, and school lockers. In 1960, another levy, this time for $370,000, was passed to add yet another elementary building. The school board also acquired 10 acres of land adjacent to the football stadium from Charles Wenger. This land was used for Westbrook Elementary, a one-wing building with classrooms, a cafeteria, and a gymnasium that opened in 1961. By 1963, it became necessary to add another wing to the building. During the 60s, Brookville's student body continued to grow, and the size of the school's graduating class grew to 100. In 1968, the school board named the football stadium Veteran Stadium and named the press box after Tom Herkins, a former student who was killed in Vietnam. With enrollment peaking at 2,100 in 1969, the school board purchased the first of 2 mobile home units that were eventually joined and placed adjacent to Westbrook Elementary. In 1970, Pete Shakaris, the industrial arts teacher, initiated a wrestling program at Brookville High School. Throughout the years, his students have achieved a long list of successes at the regional and state levels. Mr. Shakaris still teaches at the high school. The 1970s saw many other improvements and successes. The school newspaper, the Blue Blazer, was printed weekly by the Brookville Star. Mitch Reed, the high school social studies teacher, worked with Brookville Mayor Bob Apgar to develop a youth in government program for high school seniors, enabling them to experience government firsthand. Students would petition to run for elected positions in the city. Other students would work on the garbage trucks, in the city Parks and Recreation Department, for the Fire and Police Department, and in the water treatment plant. This program still ranks very high in popularity among graduating seniors and has been modeled across the country. The football team went to the Class AA state semifinal playoffs in 1976, playing in front of a packed house at Welcome Stadium, and beat New Lexington 6-0.
Kidwell wide to the right. Here's Dean dropping straight back, looking. He's going deep into the end zone. Kidwell is there. Somebody else is. Caught it! Flag down! Touchdown! He's in the end zone. Hold on. Touchdown! Brookville! No time left. He caught it in the end zone just on the goal line. Mike Kidwell did. Can you believe that play? It is a touchdown. Brookville has won the football game. The time is over. That play went from the 39-yard line to the goal line, and Kidwell caught it at the goal line.
Brookville went on to the state playoffs in the Akron Rubber Bowl, and although the team didn't win, a new standard was set for many fine Brookville football teams of the future. Over the years, a wide variety of sports have become an important part of Brookville school culture. Soccer, basketball, football, baseball, cross country, and wrestling all continued to grow and drew crowds of spectators. In 1988, the Dr. Charles Wilbur Thomas Special Award was established. Dr. Thomas was a longtime Brookville physician. This award is given every 4 years to someone who has contributed much to the Brookville community and is presented at the Brookville High School commencement exercises. In 1991, the Brookville Scholarship Foundation was organized to assist Brookville students who wish to continue their education after high school. Any student who has performed well academically has the opportunity to receive a scholarship through this foundation, regardless of their financial situation. Most of the scholarships are awarded through individual donations, civic organizations, local businesses, and trust funds. The success of this foundation shows the dedication the community has for its school system. Also, in the early 1990s, high school principal Dale Kramer, along with a group of enthusiastic alumni, reinstated the Brookville High School Alumni Association. In the years since 1990, many notable programs have been initiated at the high school. Advanced placement courses were introduced, and students choosing to participate in the post-secondary enrollment option programs attend college during the high school day and earn college credit. The Swap Day program continues to excite parents across the district. This special day allows parents to attend school for the day with their child, giving the parent the opportunity to gain insight into the operational procedures of the school and the chance to know their child's teacher better. Over 25% of the student body and their parents participate in this event. The athletic department created a Hall of Fame to honor those who have made significant contributions to school athletics. During the presidential campaign of 1992, President George Bush visited Brookville and remarked about the importance of family involvement to ensure the success of our students.
Let's take a look at Brookville and share it with the rest of this great country of ours. Where would you find a government program that would guarantee that Brookville High School would have a 95% attendance record? Government cannot do that. Family can.
Brookville local schools opened the new millennium with academic accountability and facility needs as the most prominent challenges. A large number of veteran staff members retired during this period. As a result, 12 new teachers joined the faculty in 2001, followed by 9 new teachers in 2002. All teachers are faced with preparing students for tests mandated by the nation's new No Child Left Behind law. At the high school level, the 9th grade proficiency tests have been replaced by a 10th grade Ohio graduation test. In November 2002, the community of Brookville passed a bond issue to build a new school building. After a well-attended ceremonial groundbreaking in August 2003, construction on the 161,000 square foot facility began, with the dedication of the final building taking place 2 years later in August of 2005.
It appears to me that as a community, we've done more than just build a new school building. Maybe Just maybe, we've taught the youth of our community that a community such as this has the kind of citizens that they should strive to be someday when they grow up. What a great example each of you have set.
The new school, located on Blue Pride Drive, houses grades 4 through 12 in the multi-wing educational facility with shared common areas. Technology needs were given priority, along with a curb appeal noted by many as one of the more beautiful school buildings in the Dayton area. Students in Brookville graduate from high school better prepared to succeed in higher education, in the workforce, and in life. The district's success is the result of the Board of Education, administrators, faculty, and support staff working together as a team to provide quality educational programs for students attending the Brookville schools. For almost 200 years, the residents of Brookville and the surrounding rural areas have been very proud of their school system, and the school system has the same pride in its community. There's a great deal of support from parents, town merchants, and service clubs. Brookville is a great place to live and a great place to raise and educate our children.